Yeah. And this is the last name we were working on. So I think I'm done with my presentation, sir.
Okay, I want you.
Hello?
Are we? Are we? Okay, that's good. That's good. I want you to um dwell more on one or two things. One or two things, which is I said it before that my name is Oinlui Israel Toby. As I'm the CEO and founder of Destech Institute, and we started our training and with Peter and the rest of the team. I would like to work with you guys to learn from you guys. And Peter, you explained. I want you to explain again why because you were so fast. I want to gain from you like I'm a 6 year old boy. I'm a 5 year old boy. I want to gain from you. I want you
Okay.
to explain it to me in which when a 6 year old boy watch this video, he understand
Okay.
at once. Thank you so much. So don't
Okay.
hesitate. Take your time and explain.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. What I'm trying to explain is formally, this my output was having the first name and the last name on the same line. Maybe I can do that. Let me just okay. Okay, let me just do something like this. Okay. This is just giving a rough. This was the way my first name and my last name was. Are we following, sir? So I wanted the last name to be by the side of the first name. I did not want them to be on the straight line like this. I wanted them to be side by side. So now this is because this is not the first class. This is a continuation such that in our first class, that's where we introduce the parent div. We also have the child div down. Now, this parent div covers all the div in these codes. So, because I want to work on the first name and the last name, that's why I introduced this div on number 12, which says div class, first name, dash dash last name. So, now we already have the label of our first name. If we are following the last class before this, we already did this label for first name. That's what brought us the first name. We have the input type. When we want to input our what we input there should be a text. Then we have the placeholder. The placeholder is just stating the fact that once you want to write, it should state there that enter your first name. That's what placeholder is for. So that sometimes when you enter a website, when you click before you click on the website, you see something written on where you want to write. That's the that's the function of the placeholder. So we class it also. I'm coming. So this, when you look at it, you see enter your first name. That's the placeholder. The input is this. This is the input. So I'm telling you that that's why I brought in size. Let the size be 60. That's that. Now, I class it here. When you look at my CSS, I called it. When you want on number 28, when you want to call in a class, you put a dot in it. Input dash div number 2. So that I want the width. of it to be 30% and the height to be 3 rem. That's that. So okay, I did other things too. Then at the end, I introduced a button. When you look at code number 37, we have input type button. I have the class to be processed, then the value to be processed. Now, when you open it, you see it here, the process. This is the button. The button is such that when you finish filling the form, when you click on it, it will take you to another place. Now, when we look at the button, you see a yellow color there. I did that through my CSS, such that this is my process. I called it. I said, let the color be yellow. Let the width be 4 rem. So I think that's the end of my class, sir.
Okay, that's the end of your presentation. Thank you so much. I really
Yes,
gained
sir.
from it. Thank you. So the assignment I gave out, what was this type of selector, the CSS selectors? Can you talk about it? Thank you so much. Hello, Peter. Hello, Peter. Can you hear me? Hi, Peter. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
The assignment I gave out about the CSS, did you read about it?
Yes, I read.
So can you tell me about it? Thank you so much.
Okay, you told us to read about styles of CSS, and there is this inline CSS. There is there's inline CSS, and there's embedded CSS, and there's okay. Let me talk about inline. The code I wrote just now. What I did there was inline CSS.
Can you display it? Can you
So
share your screen and display it?
okay,
This is a line. This is this. This is this. Thank you.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. This now is external CSS. This is external CSS because I'm working outside of the CSS. Now, but when I work it now, this my div style is an inline CSS, but I did not write it in a way that it should be inline. Normally, if I want to write it in a way that it should be inline, I'll have my style, then I'll open my colon in it. It means that inline CSS just mean I'll be writing the CSS inside that's my HTML. But external CSS means I'm not writing it in my HTML. I'm writing it on another page, which is the CSS. I don't know whether I'm right, sir, but that's just what I read about it, sir.
Okay. Well, I would like you to break it down like a small baby. Break it to like you are explaining to a small baby. Can you say it again?
Okay, sir. There is I said, okay, what I meant was inline CSS. Now, when I want to work with inline CSS, it means I'll be writing my code in my HTML. Though my though my number okay, I'll be writing my code in my HTML. But when it's an external CSS, it will be a separate page entirely. Meaning I'll be writing my code in a CSS page, not in an HTML page,
Please, can you
such
show
that
it?
I'll be hello.
Please, can you show it? Please, can you show it?
Okay, okay, sir. This is my external CSS.
Thank you.
Now this I'm calling it from my HTML
Okay.
because I'm writing this code
So
in
how
a
do you call
separate.
it? I don't understand what's call. Call is like I
Okay,
just call you Peter. So how you are calling it? Is there a way you can
okay.
call something in
What
code?
I mean by calling, sir, when you look at my number 7 code, it
Okay.
says link rel style sheet href form.css, meaning I'm writing this code now. I'm letting people know that there is a CSS attached to this my HTML.
Hmm.
Did you
Fantastic.
get me, sir?
Yes, 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 yes.
Uh-huh. So that's why it has to be the same name I name my CSS. I name it here form.css, and here it has to be form.css. So this is an external CSS.
Thank you.
Now, yes, sir. So an internal CSS is such that I'll be writing my CSS inside my HTML. Now, I'm not writing any CSS here. But if I wanted to write an internal CSS, I'll be writing it inside this HTML.
Hmm.
Did you
So
get me, sir?
I'll give you an explanation. Now, you know, the web development is divided into two parts. There's the body and there's the what?
Okay.
The edge, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's the edge section and there's the body section.
Yes,
Thompson, are you
sir.
with us? Thompson, are you here? Can you hear us? So now since we have the head and the body, now the head part, you can create another tag, right? Which is the style tag at the head
Yes.
section. So
Yeah.
that is what they called the what? The what internal CSS.
Internal CSS. Okay, sir.
Now inline CSS is, you know, there's BRC in Lagos, right? So
Yes. Yes, sir.
and there's also BRT in Ogun State, right?
Yes, sir.
So now inline means, oh yeah, line up on a straight line, be on a straight line, and what enter the bus one after the other. Is that also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, so it has a start and it has the end. When is the end? When the bus or when all the seats are what occupied. Is that also? So
Yes, sir.
now, since the seats are not occupied, that means each person that entering that bus, right? They are what HTML attributes. They are what attributes. So with that, I can just use what they call style. You know, CSS is cascading style sheet. So inline means on the first tag, your starting tag, I'm what giving what my attributes, right? So I can say style, and how we know is CSS. That's why they use that word style. You know, you have cascading style sheet. So the middle is what style. So with that style, then equal to your double quotes, then you can now put color blue. Is that also? Can you
Yes,
write the
sir.
code? Can you write the code with your phone? Can you write the code
Oh,
down with your phone? Can you share your screen, please? Yes. Okay. So you can go to, let's say, let's say line 15. Since it's a label, right? So now 4 is an attribute. They call it what HTML what attribute. That's line 14. 4 is what an HTML attribute, right? After the first name, after your double quote, can you see? It must be, okay, use 14. Sorry, yes, space. Then you can now give it style. So style means we are using what? Yes, TypeScript. So style equal to double quote, then color, then put blue. Blue is the color. Blue. Mm. Do you know it's not compulsory you put that semicolon? Okay, just run the code. Let's see it. Where is it? Okay, you need to expand it. Can you zoom your screen? Can you zoom it very well? Thank you so much. So that's what we call inline. Inline CSS. So now go back to that code. Now we are going to now remove the semicolon and run it again. Let's see what's going to happen. Can you see? So there's a rule that is attached to it in many programming languages that if you are writing a code and it's just one, you don't need to attach the semicolon to it. Why? Because it just takes it what as what they call it a node, a grip, a node. That's in programming terms, a node. So, but if I'm adding two things, then I need to tell it that, oh, I am adding something. So that's why I'm putting what a comma before I add another thing, then I put a semicolon. So semicolon tells you that, oh, what you have done is more than one, so it's two. So I need to what? Expand my what? Scope of programming, and I'll put the semicolon. So that semicolon tells you that, oh, this is a one line of code. So now, can you see now, after the blue, then you can put a comma, then a space, then you can put background color, then you can now call it, what should we put? Let's use violet. Use violet. There is semicolon. Thank you. So run it. Is it saved? Okay, background color. You know that dash, yes. Yes. The blue has gone away. Style.
I'm here. I'm here, sir.
Oh, Thompson, you're just here. Okay, no problem. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
let,
here, sir.
let me use this for my system. Maybe you're missing
No,
something in your code.
no. Yes, I've been with you. I've been with you. I've been with you.
Are you sure? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
he's trying to do something and it's not working. Maybe you can just assist to clear it. I'm trying to do it too. So I'm trying to check out if I've done any mistake. Okay, you have to use a semicolon, not a comma. Use a semicolon, not a comma. So when you use comma, use a semicolon. Peter, share your screen. When you use a comma, use a semicolon. Peter, please share your screen.
Yeah, you're,
Put a
you're
semicolon.
not seeing your screen, sir.
It worked now, sir.
Yes, put a semicolon. Put a
It
semicolon.
worked. It worked now, sir.
Yes, I'm not seeing your screen.
I'll show it now, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, thank you so
This is
much.
what I got, sir.
Yes. So that's the usefulness of what inline
Okay.
CSS.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Yes. So you can now do what you want to do. So that's, let me see the code, please. Can we see the code?
Okay.
Yes. You see? Yeah, background color. So I can explain one or three, four, five, six, seven, eight things to you with this, but it's not a problem. So
Okay.
now, what's the next assignment I give? Let's Thompson. Thompson, can you hear us now? Can you speak up?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
So what's the next assignment that I gave out?
You gave us about CSS, the types of CSS, and selectors.
CSS selector. So can you speak about CSS selectors?
Yes, sir.
Are you
So
connected to your
sorry.
system or to your
My name
phone?
is. I'm connected to my system, but I'm trying to figure out
Don't worry, just speak about it. Just talk about it.
the.
Just talk about it. Let's gain from you. I want to gain from
Okay.
you.
Okay. So the selector tab. The selector of CSS are some of the are the uh, like should I say something like the name that you can call on when you are styling your HTML code. For instance, maybe like the header now. If maybe you have H1, then anything you put as the letter heading. Maybe then if you want to add some of the selectors, you can put in after the H1, you can spaces and put something like class. Then the class will have a name. Maybe you can name it anything you want to name it, and save it like that. Then when you are styling it, when you get to your CSS, if you want to style it, then you call that name, that class that you give to that particular maybe tag or anything. You call it and style it from your CSS, so it won't affect others. For example, some of these selectors are ID, class, element class, and so on.
Hmm. I'm so happy. So can you differentiate between an ID and a class?
ID, like first name. Like if you are writing like this assignment we just concluded now. If you are writing it,
CSS. Peter, please can you share your screen? So
Okay, sir. Thompson, can you see my screen?
hold on, I'm seeing it, but it's small.
I can see it here.
Right?
But
Okay. Yes.
if you're
Yes.
on your phone,
Like
so I think you go to your CSS form.css.
okay, yeah. Go to your CSS. Let me show you some of those CSS selectors.
Okay, I'm in my CSS.
Okay,
Okay. It's not showing yet.
I can see it. But be patient. So
Okay. Okay. Some of this CSS collector you have here, we have. Okay, this your child. The, it has went off again. There's a child something child div. I don't know.
Child div, yeah.
I'm not seeing it again. Oh.
It's showing.
It's not showing. Sir, please, can you just show my own? Maybe I will use my own to do as example.
oh,
To
okay. Give me.
share.
I've not set it up. Well, okay. We will do that for next class. We'll do that one for next class. But you know what? Let me share my screen so that let me just share my screen. So I understand what you're talking about. So once I share my screen, you'll be able to explain it better. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you see my code? I'm going to the CSS. So you're talking about child. This is what you're talking about. Can you see my screen, Thompson?
Okay. Yes, something like this. We have on this place now. He calling this child div because if you go to the HTML, you know that that child div, that is the collector. So when he call on that child div, it means he's calling. Let me see. Okay, just look at it at the first step. You have div, we have class, and we have child. We have a parent underscore div. So that parent underscore div, that's the class. The CSS selector. So whenever you are doing anything now on this HTML code, if you call on only this parent underscore div, it will give you the room to style whatever that is that under that div. Then
Okay.
okay, let's that one is to be. Let's go for the second one. Let's this first name underscore last name. Now this first name underscore last name
Okay. Let me
for a
just let
better
me just let me just
explanation.
explain it for you. Now the difference between an ID and a class for revision in CSS. When you hear class in CSS is a full stop. Can you see this full stop? Can you see it? If you look at, can you see this top element class child div? So there's another one they call the element selector, right? It's just for the HTML element
Yes.
selector. Now, how do I know? And I give you the assignment. Do you know about the ID? How do I know this is an ID selector? How? How will I know this is an ID selector? So you have not gone to that stage. So now there's what they call, I explained to you that maybe I have to do a little bit of JavaScript for you today. Don't worry. Now, so this is your email. This is your first name, your last name, your email address, your age, right? And your gender is that also. So this is the button, right? So maybe you have to start reading about JavaScript. So that's the first assignment I'm giving to you. Read about JavaScript. Are you with me? Are you with me? Peter
Yes, sir.
and Thompson,
Yes,
read
sir.
about JavaScript. Now, there's one thing they call in JavaScript, they call it on click.
Yes, sir.
They call it on click function. So read about JavaScript, read about what is a function, what is a function in programming, what is a function in programming, right? So I can say on click, I can say process, right? On click process. So now how will I write my JavaScript function? I can say scripts, right? I'll say function, this function, right? So then I'm getting a red.
Uh, uh, Hello, sir.
Eh? What?
Sir, please, I think you should first of all like give us a little tip of JavaScript, so at least we'll be able
Yes,
to
I'm doing that.
understand
That's
what.
what I'm doing now. That's what I'm doing now. That's what I'm doing. So I'm not rushing you. Don't worry. You are not rushed. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is an on-click function. Mm, This is an on-click function. So I'll give it the title process. I think the error should have gone. So can you see it? So what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a way in which, okay, when you give birth to a child, I want to explain JavaScript. So the child starts saying um a little word. You can't hear it. Is that not so? But the child is speaking. Is that not so?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
You don't understand it. You can hear, but you don't understand it. Now, okay, okay. So now, for the child to what do you call it? After the child is sleeping, child wakes up. You know, when the child is what do you call it? The CSS is the color. When you see the child, you can see the baby color. You can see his tongue. You can see everything. Are you with me? Are you
Sir.
with me? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, action is when the child wakes up, the child can move his hand, can move his leg. Is that also get to say the child stand up, the child start walking. You get to say the child start growing up. So that's JavaScript. So JavaScript is like action. Are you with me? Action, right? When there's process of movement, right? When you perform a particular thing, something happens, right? So when a child takes the first step, oh, you're happy. Second step, oh, you're happy. Oh, you're full with excitement. When the child is not speaking very well, you're feeling excitement. Are you with me? So do you understand JavaScript now? You might see,
Eh,
oh, what Mr. Israel is saying is it, but when you start using it, that means when you perform an action, you see the result of your action. Like, okay, when I perform a particular event, right? Event is when the child takes the first leg. Oh, first leg. Oh, you'll be so happy. Oh, the second leg, you'll be so happy. Can you see the excitement? So that's an event. I always say the good part. I will not tell you the bad part in JavaScript. But the one thing about JavaScript, I think you should read, I told you should read about case sensitivity. JavaScript is very case sensitive. Are you with me? So when you write P somewhere, like now, example, like now, say this P, this small letter P. I'm saving it, right? This is capital letter P. Can you see? When I'm clicking on it, it's not taking me down there. It's not right. So when I write small letter P, I need to use small letter P. So that's case sensitivity. There's a difference between capital letter P and small letter p. Are you with me? So I said you should read about functions in JavaScript, right? So can you see this one? Function process. So the name of this function is what? Process. So when is it going to be processed? When I click on this button. So once I click on this button, there's another function called alert. So it's going to alert. You say my name is what? Monday, because today is Monday. Are you with me? So I'm going to
Yes,
share my
sir.
screen. So when I click on it, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
It's Monday, because today is what? Monday.
Monday.
So that's a alert function for you. So that's JavaScript for you. So now, how easy it is. Now I want to implement ID. I gave this what we call ID. ID is what? First name, right? In your inputs, ID is what? First name. ID is what? Last name, right?
Yes, sir.
ID, first name, right? I can say variable first name. So you read about what's variable. Variable is what they use to hold a value. Now, example is your phone. Now you can say anytime I see Peter phone, it is valued. It's still valuable to you than the newest iPhone 15. I'm taking that assumption. So that means anytime I collect Peter's phone, Peter in his mind is saying, I value this phone more than what? iPhone 15. So if I give you iPhone 15, you say, no, I want what? My phone. Why? Because that's the value you give to it. So that's what a variable is what you use to what to hold to store a value. So I store in my brain that Peter phone is more than what iPhone 15. So I can say variable first name, right, is what 10, right? I can say variable last name is equal to 20. I'm not calling the variable, I'm not calling it yet from this place. Because there's a way you pick it out. I've never picked it out. But I can say variable sum. I'm just trying to perform what a mathematics operation. First name plus last name. Are you with me? I'll say alert. I'll say the sum of the what arithmetic operations are plus sum. Are you with me? So once that is saved, I will refresh it. So once I click on process, can you see? Take note of the first one. My name is Monday because today is what?
Monday.
Can you see the second one? The sum of the arrangement operations are.
30.
So now that's the way to print out, because with JavaScript I can write codes of mathematics operations. I can perform a lot of things using JavaScript. And the JavaScript is the mother of all programming languages. So once you know JavaScript, you can move into any aspect of programming languages if you are good with JavaScript. Yes, I stand corrected. So now I want to make this more better. I can say the sum of the this double quote. So I'm going to call it now the plus. Now plus in JavaScript means a lot of things, right? So you might want to say, oh, plus is this, plus is this. Sum of the first. I just give it like first name, right? Like first name as what a number, right? Yeah. And the let's say last number, the sum of the what first number and the last number is some. So I refresh it, process it. My name because today is Monday. Now see the sum of the first number and the last number. Okay, something is missing. Is what 30. Something is what missing. So what's missing, Peter? Peter, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What's missing?
I'm looking at it, sir. The sum of the first number 10 and the last. The number of this, I mean, the last number 20.
Thank you. So I'm going to go there. Now I have to put it there. The last number and the last number is can you see? I did a mistake. The sum of the first number and the last number is what? 30. Okay. So P, the assignments have been done. So when you want to know an ID, use what the arch symbol. Arch symbol. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Arch symbol in CSS. Now see this first name, this input, right? This first name, ID. So how will I pick it up? So I'll just go there. I'm still coding now. I've not even to the word of username. I'll just say first name, right? So the first name, I can see background color, tomato. Can you see? Can you see that's ID? So with this, I can expand it. I can enlarge it, right? Can you see? Can you see last name? Now see how watch out for last name. Now age. Age. Can you see? So with ID, when we use class, with class, I can pick up a lot of things. A class might have the same name, but ID must not have what unique. Why? Because there is difference between Peter and Thompson. Is that also? So each of you, you have a different ID. So the reason I'm using them together is what? Because the ID names are what? Different. So your ID must be what? Different. But your class can be the same thing. And you can use them all throughout. So I said you should read about the hierarchy of CSS. So today, hierarchy of CSS, I will not talk about it. I want you to read about it again and you display it for me. Peter, it's not compulsory to use your system to display. You can use your phone as, sorry, Thompson, it's not compulsory to use your system to display. You can use your phone. You write it in your system, you use your phone to display it. Is that okay, Thompson?
How, how, sir? How would I be able to do that, sir?
Interact with Peter. That's why you're here to learn from Peter. Interact with Peter. Peter will teach you how he's doing it.
Okay, okay. I'll message Peter.
Yeah, just message him. Thank you so much. Okay, see the assignment I gave you,
Thank
please.
Yeah, good night, sir.